Cancel them all. Cancel them all. I don't care. One, I will not stand up for my enemies any longer because these are people saying you deserve to die. This guy, Bob Villain, it's called, it's a duo, had his show canceled after celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And I'm torn. I've got the video. I think I should play it so that you guys know what we are dealing with. Now he's got his show's gone. And some people say it's cancel culture. We shouldn't do this. I'm going to say it again. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. If you have a naughty opinion, okay. Like if you think that you don't like a group of people, I'll say, well, then I'm not going to associate with you. I'm not about that. Neither was Charlie. Okay. Race neutral, that's what Charlie said. It doesn't matter. What you believe, who you are in the inside is what matters. These people are saying you should die. They want to kill you. There's a big difference. I don't want anybody working in my company who's going to be advocating for death. Okay? And I've had some people who work for Timcast who have gotten really close to the line, never advocating for death or anything like that, but saying, just posting offensive things is what I mean to say, but no calls for violence or anything like that. And all it said to him was like, you should be cognizant of how this looks, but you're allowed to have your opinions. I'm not going to tell you what to say. If anybody here was dancing on the grave of some other people saying it was good, I'd be like, not specifically in assassinations and political violence. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a big difference between someone passing naturally and someone being assassinated. And the reason why is we don't want to encourage any violence. So when someone gets assassinated and this dude comes out and says good and he cheers for it, says that's what you get, he's giving permission. He's saying we will praise people who do these things. Now, look, when John McCain died, I said, despite the things I did not like about him, I understand he was a man who's out to serve his country for better or for worse. I'm not here to glorify anyone dying. And I got a lot of bad things I could say about John McCain. I did not agree with the guy, but I won't gloat over someone's death. Other people did, but that's the difference. The difference is the escalation of violence between each other. Here you go. It's important that you hear what we're up against.
I want to dedicate this next one to an absolute piece of shit of a human being. The pronouns was, were.
Oh, they think it's funny to mock pronouns, right?
Because if you chat shit, you will get banned. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, you piece of shit.
You will get banged. That's why I'm saying there's a line, and they crossed it. Rest in piss. Okay, cancel his gigs. He's already got his visa pulled for the United States because of stuff he was saying about the IDF. I don't care about that stuff. I think it's a bit over the top. They're like, you criticize Israel for your visa. Whatever, man. I don't care about Israel. I'm annoyed by everyone who won't shut up about it, but you get it. But this guy, he exemplifies crossing the line. And that's it. So I'll say it again. If like Ruth Bader Ginsburg died and someone said she was a demon, I don't care. I'd say, well, yeah, it's like a dirty, there's a difference. If someone advocates for political violence, assassinations, and murders, I'm like, bro, you're the problem, and we don't want to go down that road. Here we go. Model Josie Canseco enrages her fans with Charlie Kirk post. You notice how they titled that one? Because you don't know which way it's going, right? It was a tribute to Charlie Kirk. Right-wing political activist Kirk was shot dead at Utah Valley, we know. Following confirmation of Kirk's death, Josie 28 took to her Instagram where she branded the late media personality one of the smartest humans. Alongside a photograph of the father of two holding a child, she penned, "Rest in paradise to one of the smartest humans of our generation, praying for his family." In a separate upload, Josie, who previously dated NFL star Johnny Manziel, reposted a text post onto her story that read, "No matter what your beliefs are, you can never be okay with someone being shot because you don't agree with their views and political beliefs. We have gone into a dangerous path, and this can't be celebrated, tolerated, or allowed from anyone, anywhere, anytime." And that exemplifies my point on Bob Villain. A man was killed. A man who was trying to debate. That's what he was doing. He didn't threaten you. He said, prove me wrong. That's what it said. That was the branding of her. Prove me wrong. and you were allowed to try. And, Charlie was a great debater, conversationalist, and there were points where there was nothing to be said. In one video, a guy says he wants completely open borders, and Charlie Kirk goes, you want open borders? Yes. And he goes, people can come and go, say, please, yes. And Charlie goes, okay. That's it. You're not convincing the guy. The conversation is what it is. For that, they killed him. Josie's tribute failed to land with social media users, however, with one going as far as branding her delusional because they're evil. Talking to Reddit, one slammed Rock for brains, calling him smart or a hero is absolutely delusional. He was just a conservative influencer that had hateful rhetoric, he said. She's not very bright, is she? Added a third. Charlie told people who threatened him and hated him that he loved them and wished them the best. Like the worst insult I've ever seen him do. There's a video where a woman asks him if he knows what carbon dioxide is, and he goes, you want to hear it? And everyone's laughing. He didn't insult her. He just started blowing on the microphone, and we all laughed. We thought it was funny. There's a video going around where they're claiming he called someone a racial slur for Asians. He was talking to Cenk Uygur. And he said, listen, Cenk, blah, 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 here's what I think. They took it out of context, and they cut Cenk Uygur out, so it looks like he's throwing a racial slur. These people are evil. She's not very bright, is she? A fourth continued. I am getting such a good view of who immediately to unfollow. Just unfollowed a channel on YouTube over his Charlie Kirk tribute. You know what? So be it. This appears to be the bifurcation of society. And there's nothing we can do about it. Let me see. I'm just browsing Reddit. And just best of everywhere. Let's see what, if anything on Charlie Kirk pops up. Dave Portnoy said Donald Trump played a huge part in Charlie Kirk's death and MAGA is raging. Okay, let's pull this over. I went to reddit.com. I'm going to scroll down to here's the post. I'm going to click on the comments. We'll zoom in and see what the comment says. Quote, his assassination attempt there's like a 3-hour period of, let's tone down the rhetoric, and then we get right back to it. He's right. Trump is trying to do a January 6th against the left. He's riling up the nut jobs to attack us. It's clear as day. Trump wants a civil war, and the cult will oblige. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what I think. The fact is, both sides will not believe the other side. I think there's an objective reality because I am not politically right-wing. But there's an objective reality. So I'll put it like this. I am typically criticized for being anti-death penalty, but at the same time, traditionally pro-choice. How does that make sense? Conservatives criticize me all day for it. I think there should be universal basic health care, an expensive government program, I know. But some things we can help people with, some things we can't. And for this, despite this, I'm right-wing. We have transgender guests come on the show. I use their preferred pronouns. We had a drag queen trans leftist, 6'5", very large individual who said, I'm going to come on your show, but I use she, her pronouns. I said, yeah, okay, no problem. I don't care. But I'm far right. I'm far right. And that's the reality. I disagreed with Charlie Kirk on many things. I agree with him on many more. I think we mostly agreed. Despite our disagreements on areas that he was trying to win, he knew something. Tim Pool may be traditionally pro-choice. And it's a loaded term because the left has gone insane. I think there are limited and rare circumstances where the government can't be the determining factor in abortions. I do think abortion as contraception is wrong, and there should be a reason. The challenge I see is in the government having to have like an emergency writ so that a doctor can perform this. Charlie knew something, though. He said, Tim disagrees with me on this one. I better bring him over here and let him stand on my stage and have a conversation with me so we challenge his ideas and so everyone can see what we think and why we think it placed against someone who disagrees. And I agree with Charlie on all of those points. And it's why I wanted to talk to him, too. And at the end of everything, I remember I talked with Glenn Beck about this. We smiled and we shook hands and he says, we're trying. And I'm like, this is awesome. And I think that's the difference. Someone like me, I'm called right wing. Why? Because I sit next to Charlie Kirk and I talk to him about these ideas. There's certainly a lot of opinions we agree on. The transgender ideology stuff is destroying our youth, dangerous. But I have a lot of friends of the show. They're trans. They come on the show all the time. I use preferred pronouns for them. Ben Shapiro says he wouldn't do that. In some circumstances, he might, but in writing, he wouldn't. I got no problem with that. It's a little rough, but there's no easy answer is the challenge. So I just try to be amicable when I can for the purpose of having a conversation with someone. I won't use neo-pronouns. I'm sorry, that's the line for me. But I'm going to be far right. This comment says, I've said in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if the pedo-ish is causing schism in the Republican Party in some. If not, all right-wing violence is going to stem from the assumed fact that Trump raped children. I want you all to understand something. A year ago, the conversation was that Joe Biden had sexually abused his own daughter, and the Epstein files were going to expose it. We've completely inverted. Now, by all means, I think there's an objective reality, but you choose, right? Here's the point. It doesn't matter what you believe. They believe the inverted. They're not going to drop that. Neither will you. So tell me where you think it goes. More to the point. That's why I say, get them fired. Cancel their shows. This only goes in one direction. And I'm worried. I'm going to leave it there. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you on the next segment.